Hello guys, and welcome back to Notorious Coasters. Today we're doing a video that I've been wanting to do for a little while. That is the top 5 themed rides at Six Flags Great America. This one's going to be a little longer, so grab a snack, grab a seat, let's go. Before we begin, I'm going to go with an honorable mention, and that is Viper. I really do like this coaster. I haven't gotten to ride it yet this year, but the things holding it back from being a great themed ride are that there's no really theming on the ride, and the queue isn't that strongly themed. So as far as theming goes, it's got a really cool ride sign, which I'll put on screen right now. And that station looks really cool, even if it's jam-packed with people every single time I ever ride it. But I would say that it just lacks a lot of queue theming, a lot of ride theming that I think some of the other attractions on this list have. Now let's start with number 5. We've got The Dark Knight. While I do hate this Wild Mouse coaster, I think it is one of the better themed rides at this park. To start, I think that the main queue area has a lot of great theming. There's a lot of TVs and signage everywhere telling you that you're getting on a Gotham City Transit car, you're going on the subway, and it's not going to be quite so easy because the Joker is up to his normal mayhem. There's also an amazing pre-show, which I'm just going to play a snippet of right here.
Where do you stand on the Batman? Should he be incarcerated for taking the law into his own hands, or praised for protecting our city?
Well, I think he should be locked up because he keeps stealing my press. My priority as district attorney is not the Batman. My priority is to return this city to a time when we didn't need the Batman. When law and order alone was strong enough to fend off the criminals and the corrupt Batman.
Someone's hijacked the feed.
We are hoodlums, we are corrupt. Why so serious?
The only thing really holding this back, because that pre-show is amazing, the only thing holding back this attraction is that I felt like the ride theming needs to be a little stronger. I think there's a lot of moments where it's just pitch black, or you can't really tell what's going on. There's also not a really full cohesive story. I know Batman saves the day, but like how, you know? So I think that the theming in the queue is amazing, that pre-show is amazing, but in order for this to be a truly great themed attraction, it needs a little more ride theming. And number 4 is the Giant Drop. This attraction features an amazing queue, which is themed to a large mine. It has all sorts of amazing rock formations that you kind of weave your way through. It has a lot of themed sets, which are all very cool, featuring like dead skeletons and mining equipment and things. When they're working, they have some cool sound effects and audio, which are themed to like birds and again mining sounds. And there's also wooden buildings and structures, so you just get the vibe. You're going on a mining shaft, elevator, and you're gonna drop, and it's gonna be scary because everything's falling apart. The theme is right there. There's nothing to question here. It's a straightforward theme, and it's the best themed drop attraction I've ever seen. The biggest things that hold this one back are the queue is always empty, so you never see any of the theming most of the time unless you like are going out of your way to look for it. And I would say it's gotten more dated. A lot of the sets and things have just continued to fall apart and look worse and worse as the years go on. There's also no real story with any of the theming. It's a mine. And so I think the better themed rides are a little more complex than that. And I think that it's really good, but there are better themed rides in the park. Moving on to number 3, we've got Xflight. This one is, I think, highly debated among people, but I think that the station is amazing. Like, is it kind of bare bones and basic? Sure, but like, there's no question it's like a hangar. It's a plane hangar with plane themed ride vehicles. You're getting on a plane, and it looks like a fighter jet. The shed to the right of the attraction is also pretty well themed. That's where they store the trains that are not being used. There's also a large control tower and some other buildings that you weave your way through on the attraction. That's one of the biggest things. all of these props and things you're weaving your way through and around and on top of, and that really adds to the theme as well. Finally, there is an amazing themed queue like audio spiel in the station, and while the updated version is a lot worse than the original version, which I'll try to play a little bit of.
Thank you for your help with mission Xflight. Attention, Xflight recruits. Welcome to your top secret mission, Xflight. Each loading gate accommodates 2 recruits. Once you've boarded the aircraft, please pull your harness down as far as it will go and fasten your safety belt. Attention recruits waiting to board. Please move behind the safety line as the gates in front of you will be closing. While on this top secret mission, recruits must remain seated with hands and feet inside the aircraft at all times and your head against the headrest. Loose items may not be carried on. Secure hats and glasses. Now get ready as we take this mission to the skies.
The station audio does a great job of setting up the theme. You're getting on a fighter plane. It's going to be intense. It's going to be wild. It's going to be fun. And it is. It's a great theme. Some of the biggest things that hold this one back are it's been themed to a lot of different ads, you know, and such. Like, I know at one point it was themed to Takis for a solid like 3 years. How am I supposed to, you know, get in the fighter jet mood that I'm going on a fighter plane when it's telling me to eat Takis? In addition, the queue is very loosely themed. Like, I think in that queue, everywhere you look, it's just, you're looking at the ride. There's not much to look at. There's not much that you can, you know, do to pass the time. Even like Giant Drop. If you had to wait in a really long line, they have all those interesting sets and things. Xflight just doesn't have that. It has a relatively boring queue, a lot more switchbacks than a lot of the other rides. And that's where it falls a little short for me. But it's still a solidly themed ride and really good for Six Flags. It's really good for Six Flags. Now, the top 2 attractions, which I think most people could guess, are definitely the best themed rides in the park, and to me are like a level above Six Flags. They are a level above what everything else is at the park. So the next attraction, I think people are going to be surprised this doesn't win. It is Justice League Battle for Metropolis. This attraction has a great theme. I love the ride. I think it is a great dark ride. One of my favorite things that Six Flags has ever cloned. I think that it has a great themed interior with some cool banners and props and things. It has a great cyborg animatronic that tells the story. It may not be the most advanced animatronic in the world, but just happy it's there. There's also a lot of pre-show videos, especially on other versions of the attraction. They have a lot more things, and that's one of the biggest drawbacks, is that the Six Flags Great America version seems to be a lot worse than the other versions that I personally have ridden and just that exist. Like, at Six Flags Great America, I would say more than half the queue is outside. Like, if this thing's packed, you're most likely going to be waiting most of your time outside. Other versions, there's a lot more indoor queues where you can enjoy the theming this attraction offers. In addition, this attraction is really well themed during the ride experience. Obviously, as a dark ride, it relies on the theme and, you know, the theming. But I think that as far as Six Flags dark rides go, which there aren't very many, it's a great ride. It is really a great ride. And it is well themed. And as a shooter attraction, I think it's really fun and enjoyable. And I think that the Justice League theme adds to the ride experience. So, yeah, overall, great ride. Very well themed. I just think that the Great American version is worse than the other ones that exist, which is sad. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Number 1 is Batman the Ride. It was either this Metropolis, let's all be perfectly honest here. And Batman the Ride is a fantastic ride. It's also got an amazing theme, and in my opinion is the best themed ride at Six Flags Great America. Let's discuss it. First off, it's got an amazing park area. You enter, you're weaving around all these flowers and plants. Some of the better landscaping in the entire park, if you ask me. It's also got a lot of Easter eggs. If you look at all the plaques and things, there's some Easter eggs. So next time you walk through that queue, take a look. It's pretty cool. You then enter this underpass. It's Gotham City Public Works. You see some car noises above you. You know, you see a sewer drain. There's a shot of cop car with a fire hydrant with a water effect. It's all telling a pretty clear story here. Gotham City is having some troubles. We need someone to save the day. So we head through the sewer drain, up into the Batcave. with the cool No Limits 2 graphic thing on the screen of the Dark Knight at Six Flags New England. And then we hop onto the Batmobile and we ride and we save the city, basically. The Batcave is really well themed. It may be extremely hot, but it's really well themed. It has a cool Batman logo on the ceiling. The ride interacts with the queue and interacts with the ground as well. And of course, when you end the ride, you re-enter the Batcave and exit into a pretty city that has now been saved. And by that, I mean you enter back into the park, which is just the most glorious, beautiful Six Flags park you have ever seen. Not only is this a fantastic ride with a fantastic theme, no other Batman the Ride clone compares, in my opinion. I think the other versions are equally as intense. Some might even be more intense. Some people like to say that Six Flags Over Georgia is better. But having seen most of the Batman queues, they all suck. None of them even compare to this one. If we look at Six Flags St. Louis's specifically, because that one, I have a video that's really easy to pull up. The Gotham City Park is massive and is a little more ugly, if you ask me. And then we're supposed to believe that the underpass, which we can see both sides of, is really an underpass. We can just see all sides of it. It's like, clearly that's obviously not an underpass. That's the thing, is not only is Great America's version amazing and the best thing right at the park, it's so much better than all of the versions that Six Flags copy and pasted at a bunch of other parks. It just looks great, and I'm so glad that I'm at the home park of this amazing attraction with this amazing theme. That's all I have to say today. Now, if you think a different Six Flags Great America attraction has a better theme, let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. That's gonna be it for today, and I will see you guys next time here on Midwest Coasters. Have a great day.